Noel, the big kick-off is getting closer and closer. How are we feeling?
Yeah, we're feeling okay. We're just taking it every day as it comes, and still in the last stages of pre-season. So yeah, we're working towards that first day of the season, of course. But yeah, looking forward to this weekend's game first. Big
news for you and the fans as well. A couple of new faces in the building. Daniel Chia and also Liam Fraser joining this week. Talk us through those boys.
Yeah, we were looking at Daniel for a wee while. Watched him play in the Bundesliga too. He's something different. He's something that I think we missed last year in terms of that raw pace. He can play in a number of positions for us, which is really good. He can play as an 8, he can play as a wide right, wide left. And we're really looking forward to working with him. He's an exciting young prospect. He's 23. And he's got loads of room to grow in the ceiling, so he fits into the group. He's a great personality. You see him, he's always smiling, he's always laughing, but when he gets on the pitch, he's exciting to watch.
Talk me through these little hidden hours that goes into these deals. Obviously, Bundesliga 2, there's not many clubs signing players from that level, from that country in the EFL. Talk me through that process.
It's 5 a.m. on a Wednesday or Thursday morning when you're sitting in Orlando and you can't sleep because the kids are lively. That kind of thing that we're working through. We've worked hard this year on trying to find players that kind of suit us, and it's not easy. So between myself and Bry and the staff, just countless hours of looking at players, watching games. In terms of the level, trying to find a level that's probably greater than this, and trying to find, like you said, them hidden gems. Then figuring out if they're out of contract, so it's a lot of phone calls. And again, between myself and Brian, a few of the guys, and Jackson, that you're trying to find out where these boys are from, what they do. You kind of get a bit of information off transfer market, but then you got to go and dig. So listen, we're glad that a few of them have come to fruition, but hopefully we get a few more as well.
One of the things that's been key since we've been talking is the character as well being so important. How do you manage to do the due diligence on that front?
Yeah, so I've had a number of Zoom calls with him since then. Obviously we want to present and show us in our best light, but also then off the back of that, getting the feel for him in front of the camera, and how is he in terms of his natural chatting. And I was a bit worried coming on the call at the start because I thought, he's a Ghanaian German, so I thought I'm going to slow down here and talk, but he speaks better English than me, so it's a joy. No, he's a really good kid, and so off that we got a feel of him. We tried to get a little bit of a background of him and his family, and everything came out really good.
And this process has delivered another overseas player in Liam Fraser as well, who joined this week too. Tell us about Liam.
Yeah, Liam spent the majority of his life in the MLS. It's a league that we're quite interested in because the level, again, you get world-class players there with some players that come through the college scheme that are learning their trade, so there's a good balance, and we kind of figure that it's, top champ to maybe middle of League One, some of the teams and some of the standards. So if we can look at the markets that are similar or better than ours, and we can find a few players, that don't cost, because we all know it. Listen, it's inflated. We can inflate homegrown a lot in this country, which it's great for our boys. But when we're rebuilding and when we're trying to keep the structure nice and sound, and we want to do it in a natural process, we have to look far afield at times. Liam came over, and he was one that we watched actually before we played him, and we identified as a good player for them, a key player for Crawley. His energy levels are through the roof. I think he was top. He had top running stats throughout League One in midfield. And when you see him, he knows the game. He's got great awareness. He can play a number of positions in there as well for us, so he's versatile. And the rapport we got back, and I was lucky enough to know 2 or 3 players that play for Crawley that I'd known from back home and played with back home and coached, that they said he's a great character, he's a 24/7 pro, and he's a machine. So it's good references.
And with the window being open, we've talked about the ones that come in, but then there is obviously the potential for those to move on too. You mentioned in the press after Tottenham about Harvey Nibbs as well. Any news on that?
Yeah, listen, we're still in chats. I'm in daily contact with Harvey. He's training, he's back on the grass now. And of course, there's going to be interest with the goals he got last season. So right now, he's our player, and we'll treat him that way unless something happens or I get a phone call or Joe comes and tells me that the money that we've set out for the price of Harv is met. You know, he's our player. Simple as that.
The chairman's been here this week, Rob Coohig. Obviously a new relationship for you. How's that going?
Yeah, it's been great. It's lovely to see him. I know he's had a tough few weeks, or probably a month, with everything that's happened at home. But he come in, he was great. I got him to go and speak to the boys. I think it's really important because for as long as I've been back at the football club, nothing like that's happened in terms of a senior owner / chairman coming in and addressing the lads. You can see that they hanged on every word, and it was really nice to see, you know, because it's important that we have that relationship between me and Rob, which has been great, but also the players having an idea of who the owner is and that he cares, that he comes in. So it was really positive.
You talk about the importance of it. Obviously it's been so turbulent, but for players, is there that real sort of thirst for knowledge about who the owner is, what the culture is like in the top? Obviously we know the culture within the football setup, but in terms of the club? Yeah,
I think it's important to know that it's stable. I think that hasn't been the case over the last few years here, and it's been well documented. So to have it's not so much you need to know it, but to know that it's in the background, everything is fine and everything is stable. You know, it just makes you want to. You can go out onto the grass with probably that 1% more belief in everything, and it gives us no excuses. You know, we've got to go out and produce no matter what, and we had to do that anyway last year. But to know that we're run like, you know, probably 99% of the football clubs in the country is a real positive.
He's an optimistic guy. Do you like that?
Yeah, we breed positivity. I think my attitude has always been that I've always had to just go back into myself, and you know, if you think negative, you'll feel negative, you'll act negative, the result will probably be negative. But I've always just gone, if you think positive, you'll feel positive, you act positive, you've got a better chance of the result being positive. So I like that positivity around the place. We have no disappointments. That's our rule here, that we have no disappointments no matter what we do. Here, nothing's a problem. If there's a problem, it's not for us. We'll just find a solution and move on as quick as we can.
Back to the football. Tuesday was a behind closed doors friendly against Slough. A much changed team. Talk us through that thought.
Yeah, we thought the boys on Saturday, you know, for the 65, 70 minutes that they played, numbers were great through the roof, so we didn't feel it needed to go again on the Tuesday. We could actually get bigger numbers into them by training. So the ones that finished the game, essentially, the ones that needed minutes, so the likes of Matty Jacobs, who obviously has missed a bit of pre-season with a little bit of a niggle. Who else was in there? Johnny Ryan coming back, you know, from 14 months out. And Mamadi Kamara, who felt just needed a little bit more. I thought he done great when he came on against Tottenham on Saturday. He looks like he's coming back to himself. Just thought they needed more minutes, along with the younger ones, like the likes of Ash, Manu, Borgie, all these young boys. Phil played. So it was a really good test because it contrasted games, and it was a great one for the mindset, because one at the weekend you're playing Tottenham, and no disrespect to Slough, they're a great setup with Scotty. There's a bit of a difference in levels, and we just said, you know, your mindset, your attitude have to be the same as when you step out against Tottenham as it is against Slough. We still have to go with the underdog mentality, but have that confidence within ourselves. It was a really good game, really well fought game. I thought, if we're being realistic, we could have scored 7 or 8, 9 goals. We weren't ruthless enough in the final third, and that's what we emphasised on at the end of the game, that we have to finish the actions, we have to be ruthless, and these young boys got to learn that that's what it's about, you know. It was great for the forwards to get chances, but they have to score, we have to take chances and be ruthless, because the game won't wait for you. So it was a really good exercise. The numbers again were really good pre-season. So for all them boys, they got through it with no injuries. I mean, Johnny Ryan, I was delighted for him because he got through it 90 minutes. Again, something to push him on. He was a bit stiff and sore after it, but his knee felt great, and he'll be a great addition for us this year as well.
Looking ahead now to Portsmouth, the final pre-season fixture before the big kick-off away at Lincoln at the start of August. What can fans expect from Saturday? Are we looking at a strong lineup?
Yeah, we got to keep going. We got to fine tune it. There's still boys that need minutes that have missed out on a few bits and pieces over the pre-season, which is normal. I'll keep on saying that you have to probably account for 25% of your squad to be injured at one point in the season. You know, from 25 to 30% is the average. So with these little nicks and niggles that you get, you know, we got to try to catch up, and it'll be a great game for some of the boys to top up to the 90 minutes if we can, and get boys on the pitch that need some minutes as well.
And finally, this injury prevention at this stage of the season is key, more so than any other time. How's that looking?
Yeah, listen, we're in a good place. The boys are out in the grass every day we play, or train, and we're okay. We know we still need to strengthen the squad, so we're looking to get another couple at least in before next week. So with that in mind, it just bolts us up a little bit. I mean, we're going along. We want it done yesterday. We understand that, but we're pushing hard to keep on strengthening and help the boys we have, because they're working really well.